USA. Yeah.
This is Car Bros Podcast, episode 59.
Mm-hmm. You had to think about that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
The Big 5-9.
Big 5-9 live. What's up?
Happy New Year.
Thank you for being here.
Happy 2020.
Happy 2020. Happy New
The
Year.
big 2-0.
The Big 2020.
Yeah, I have this belief that if you're gonna do something important with your life, you should do it this year because it's such a memorable sounding year.
It's a big year.
Yeah, you should make the most of it. Thank you for being here. What's up to our patrons?
Stop.
As always, especially thank you to those of you who are here live. That means a lot, and that makes this extra fun. We switched the time a little bit. I know I said 6 p.m. before, but now the first Sunday of every month.
It was getting pretty close to our bedtime.
It was a little late. I don't know why we picked 6, but first Sunday of every month at 5 p.m. Pacific. If you would like to join us here live, then please do so. What's up, Smitty? Thanks for that. Smitty Werber Jaegerman Jensen. Is that right?
Nailed
Jaeger.
it. Yeah.
Thanks for that, man. Oh, yeah. Also, if you'd like to ask us a question, we watch the chat. We generally watch the chat, but if you'd specifically like something answered that we didn't see, go ahead and super chat us, and we'll be sure to get to it. Then we'll be sure to answer your question or respond to your comment or anything like that. So yeah, first Sunday of every month, 5 p.m. If you'd like to join us, please do. Feels like the audience is growing a tiny bit each time. That is fun. Also, the shirt sale. We sold shirts between now and the last podcast. Yeah, and I think we did. I think it was like 30 or something.
Not bad.
Of the Nürburgring shirt.
Classic design.
Yeah, which is a pretty sweet shirt. But the way that site works, it's not. They're not for sale year round. It's only
like 2 weeks at a time.
Yeah,
right,
it's
or
only
something?
when we turn it on.
Yeah.
And then there's a certain amount of time, and whoever signs up when it closes, they get a shirt. And they do that because they screen print them in batches, and it's a higher quality shirt, but it's less convenient to do it that way. And so the way that site works is if the sale is not running, you can say like, I would buy this.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
Like send an email to the owner and like let them know. And so every once in a while I'll get an email that's like, someone's interested in buying your shirt, and they keep a running tab of how many people have done that. And when I launched the sale, it was at like 25 people have expressed interest in buying 30 shirts or something. I was like, oh, okay, good. So there's some people who missed it, and there's new people who will obviously see it. And so we ran the sale, and it's like everyone bought their thing or whatever, and then it closed, and then immediately,
Yeah, there's always like the straggler that just comes in
I
late.
wonder if they're ever going to sell
after-
that shirt again.
yeah, after the sale closes, people start lining up to buy it. Like in the days after it closed, like someone has expressed interest in buying your shirt. It's like, fuck, man, it was just on sale. So yeah, it'll probably be a year before we sell that one again. So you have to hold on tight. Thank you for that, Lena. Appreciate that. I feel a little bit unprepared because we've just been playing.
Yeah. We've been a little less productive this week.
Anyone that saw our Instagram.
Yeah.
Official Instagram.
We do these podcasts at John's house, and we're playing Star Wars
Battlefront 2.
Yeah, we're playing John's PS4, and so like, we're messing around, and then John happens to have 2 PS4s.
I actually have 3 PS4s.
3 PS4s, and so we were like, we should bring 2 TVs in the living room.
And like 5 minutes later, it happened. It was a reality. Yeah.
Yeah, and his fiance lives here too, and she was like, "Don't bring the TV." It's pretty classic, but yeah, we pretty much just did that instead of preparing.
This
for
might be abbreviated so we can get back.
Yeah, so we got things to do. But the reason I say that is one of our patrons, Jesse Rice, sent us a Taco Bell gift card for Christmas.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he sent
Oh, that's
us
right.
it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jesse.
And I
Thanks,
totally, yeah, thank you, Jesse. That was super cool of you. But I was like, oh, so obviously we have to have a pile of tacos in the middle of the podcast for the next one. And I totally forgot to do that because we were playing Star Wars. So maybe next time. I have it with me. I brought it. I remembered to bring it down here, but I forgot about that. Anyways, I
know where we're going after this.
I was reminded of that because Lena said, buy 2 crunchy tacos on me. It's like, shit, I was going to have like 20 of them on the table, and like we would eat them throughout, which would have been funny. But yeah, well, still appreciated, Jesse. Speaking of Patreon, we have some patrons, and we're big fans of them. If you would like to sign up for Patreon, please do. Because that is officially how we make most of our money. YouTube doesn't do shit.
No.
The Monterey video, not that we made that for profit, but just to give you an idea of it, we made about $180 from YouTube on the Monterey video.
Revenue.
Out of like how many 100,000 views?
130,000 views.
Yeah.
But just to give you an idea of how much money that kind of content generates, not much. And partly that was my fault because you pick, as a creator, you're in control of where you put ads. Yeah. It's something that always kind of bugs me because I'll read people be like, there's so many ads on YouTube and it's so gross and stuff. It's like, that's the creator. Yeah. YouTube doesn't force you to do any of that shit. And so personally, I tend to lean toward what's going to make this the best experience rather than what's going to make us the most money. And so I thought about putting ads throughout it.
Yeah, I forgot what that term's called, but it's like in-view ads or something like that. Yeah,
and so some people do it where it's like they'll break their video up into segments and there's ads in the middle and stuff. But I was like, it's any kind of momentum this film has when you show an ad. Yeah. You know,
even though you can, like, if you skip it after 5 seconds, it still
takes you out of it.
Right.
And so I chose to let them put ads at the beginning and end, but not throughout it.
Right.
And so that's partly why that was such an unprofitable video, because it was like, I'd rather this was as enjoyable as possible for people. Also because it was other people paid to have it made. Right. It wasn't about that. Yeah. But that's a long way to say most of our money comes from Patreon. So if you are enjoying the content we make, which these days is either videos once a year or this podcast, or if you just think we're cool, go ahead and sign up for our Patreon. There's a ton of content there at this point. It's probably about an hour of content, honestly. Between the reviews and cutting room floor and extra footage and that kind of stuff. So you can find it in the link in the description below. Or Google Car Bros Patreon. Thank you for sitting through that.
Now,
we were also on Jay Leno's Garage, as we mentioned.
Oh yeah,
last month. We still don't know when that's going to air. We haven't heard anything.
Last we heard is this month.
They said, they just said 2020.
I thought they said February or March.
I could have sworn I heard January.
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be early this year, but we don't have an exact date.
Well,
yet.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We also don't know if they're actually going to tell us. Like, it's not like they need us at this point. But we don't know any more about that. So
you guys will definitely be kept.
You'll know. Yeah. They said we could repost it, so we'll put it on our channel. But yeah, anyways, that has also led to us, like earlier last year, Garrett was still storing the Fieri in his backyard. Like, rewind to last year, and the Fieri looked like it did at the start of that video, sitting under a tarp, getting rained on and stuff. And we're like, we got to get rid. Like, we got to do something because this thing is just
falling apart.
It's falling apart, and it's a pain in the ass. And so we were basically saying, like, what could we do with it that is worthy, that we would feel like we had done something with it before we got rid of it. And the two things we came up with were, wouldn't it be funny to take it to Monterey Car Week, or what if we got on Jay Leno's Garage? And those were both, at the time, we felt unattainable.
Yeah, pipe dreams.
Yeah, we were just kind of like, what would actually get enough attention? That'd be cool. And so miraculously, those things happened.
Yeah.
Which, and so now we're kind of thinking about selling it. Yeah. Basically, even though that car is awesome, it's just, we're still storing it. We're paying to store it.
Might be time for someone else to enjoy.
Yeah, and at this point, there's kind of like ego-driven part of us that was like, well, we don't want someone else to buy it and
Take it to Monterey.
and then, do stuff that like we were kicking ourselves for not having done. But now we feel like we've kind of had our fun, and if somebody else wants to
Carry on.
carry the burden, someone else wants to carry that cross, more power to them. And we're also kind of thinking this is basically the peak of its popularity with us.
Right.
And so this would be a good time to start thinking about selling it. So that would also be a way for us to fund some of our more ambitious ideas. So we're thinking about doing that. It has not happened yet, but if anyone out there...
If anyone knows any heavy hitters.
If anyone, yeah, I think it'll get some good exposure. I mean, we're probably going to... I think bring a trailer is basically the only reasonable place to sell something like
Right,
that.
yeah.
So that's what we're thinking. Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. A couple people have expressed interest in buying it after the Monterey video. I mean, nothing. I didn't pursue it, but it's like some people want to own
We
this
pitched
thing.
it to Jay, but he wasn't up for it.
I legitimately tried to sell
Yeah.
it to Jay. He did
You
not.
brought the pink slip down
I
to
brought the pink slip because you got to be ready.
Yeah,
If
you know,
somebody,
yeah.
you know, it's like
Wishful thinking, right?
Situation like that. If they're like, "Oh yeah, I'd buy it," you know, and they're kind of,
Right.
if you give people,
You don't be gun shy.
no, you got to have it in your pocket, literally. Like that's happened a few times with me where you'll get a circumstance where it's like, ooh, if this works, it could be sweet or something like that, and people agree to it.
Yeah.
And then you wait or whatever. Like, sure, I'll sell it to you, and then you're like, well, let me go get my money.
Right,
And it's
yeah.
like you have to be spring loaded.
You gotta strike while the iron's
You
hot.
gotta
yeah.
strike because people usually, an hour goes by and they're like, "Wait, I don't fucking want that thing," or like whatever. They lose the excitement of it.
Reality
Really bad
hits them.
decision.
Yeah. They look at their bank account and be like, "Ooh, that's not a financial decision
Yeah.
I want to make right now."
So that has happened to me a few times before. So I was like, I may as well have the thing with me.
Right.
Call him on his bluff. But he after seeing the other things in his garage,
yeah,
he politely declined. in a
You just say you just didn't have the space for it.
humorous. Yeah, he's like, ooh, I wish I had room, but okay, so I guess in the same spirit of recapping what we've been thinking about, especially in 2020, since as I said, if you're gonna do big things,
the big two.
this is the year for it. We're talking about doing a Jack Diamond. Thanks for that, Lena. Lena said she'll buy it for $1,500. The bidding has begun.
yeah,
we were thinking of
The ceiling has been established.
yeah, the floor or a ceiling.
what you never
It could be a thin,
yeah,
could be a thin room.
yeah.
We were joking about how sweet it'd be if it ended for like $950
Yeah.
or something.
We're just like, ooh,
Something pathetically bad.
Yeah. The least funny outcome is that it goes for like $3,000.
yeah,
But way below or way
Way
above
above-
that
yeah.
is a funny story. So thanks for that, Lena. good to know we've got a backup. What was I talking about?
Jack Diamonds.
Before she gave us money?
Yeah,
Oh.
Doing big things in 2020.
Yeah, big things. That's right. So we, I'll get into this a little bit more later, but basically we're going to try to do a 3-episode miniseries with Jack Diamond
yeah,
and film them all at once so that it's not like,
yeah. It's not our usual release.
stay
schedule.
tuned. You know?
Several months.
Maybe another episode is coming. We're going to try to make like it's basically a mock TV show. And we're going to do another Kickstarter, but it'll be quite a bit less. Not that one was too big, but
Less ambitious.
Yeah,
yeah, but it's like we need to like hire some actors.
Yeah,
and-
we need the money for totally different kinds of things, but
yeah.
and it's not.
There are
as
some
much,
costs
yeah.
involved, but it won't be huge. But that is what we're thinking of doing. So be on the lookout. Between now and the next podcast,
Yes.
we'll do a video announcing the Kickstarter for that. So you'll be aware that it's coming. But that's on the horizon. We don't want to rush it today, but it's close. And the script is not finished. I don't want to give anything away other than It's hilarious.
If we do say so.
Yeah.
Anyone out there listening who's like a producer or something, we have a hilarious script. Just trust us.
Well, part of what we want to do is like we need to make something that demonstrates our ability to make more than what we're doing,
right?
Kind of, and so there are ways to approach larger production studios. What I don't know what the term is, the Netflixes and Amazons and stuff. But we don't really have any of those connections nor knowledge of how to do it. And so the only thing we know how to do is make a living, breathing resume and just kind of put it out there and say, do people like this? And so either it turns into something or not. It'll still be awesome.
Funny,
So that's kind of what we're trying to do, is angle ourselves to do bigger things than we have been doing. And I'll touch on that a bit more later. I'm realizing I should touch on it now. But that is not the way I have laid out the podcast. Okay.
Edge of your seat content right here.
Let's talk about some cars. Let's talk about some car stuff.
This is a car podcast, in case you haven't noticed.
Evolving beyond that. Here are two observations that I had that were close to each other when I was commuting to work. This is what I would say, and John and Mike do not know what these are. So everyone is, and they're good. This is what I would declare is one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous activities you can do while driving, is trying to locate and stop rattles in your car.
Oh, yeah.
While you're going down the road. Because I don't think it's a OCD thing. Rattles are just annoying.
I have the same bug, yeah.
They're very, I think most people are probably frustrated by them. And sometimes they're like, oh, I had a pen in the something.
In the cup holder or something, yeah.
But you don't know until you start investigating. And it would be nice if you had someone else where it would be like,
a second set of hands.
You drive around and I'll hunt it or whatever. But I was on my way to work and there was a new rattle I hadn't heard before. And so I realized that it takes a lot of attention, first of all, to try to find the source of that rattle. The second, you're like testing stuff.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah.
You know,
what if I push this and hold this down? Yeah.
You're like pushing on trim, or like just kind of adjusting things. And that's pretty, I almost crashed a couple times going like 20. So it made me realize this is pretty dangerous. I think more so than
But you have to do it while moving.
You have to do it while moving.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's some way to like fake that.
I don't know.
But as soon as you're stopped, it's not rattling anymore.
Yeah.
You know? So it's kind of annoying. I never found it.
The Jeep does this weird thing where, when you get to a certain speed, it cuts 4 of the cylinders, so it's only running on 4 cylinders. But like the balance of the motor at that point like resonates at a different frequency, so it kind of vibrates the whole car, and there's a rattle in the sunroof that happens when I'm doing like that. So I'm like encouraged to not drive economically because I'm like, God, this is bugging the shit out of me.
I would turn that mode off.
Yeah,
I would never use that. Yeah. Okay. So that led to, all on the same commute. It was a very podcast fortuitous commute. I executed what I believe to be the most difficult maneuver to execute while driving a car.
A backwards J-turn?
No, I was just going to say the Rockford Files reverse J-turn.
Little Dukes of Hazzard action.
Let me add a little bit. Let me qualify that a bit more. It's the most difficult effort that anyone might have to execute. A normal person. Yeah. And that is actually, before I tell you, I have a story to go along with this.
Oh.
When I was 11,
my father, we went fishing.
Took me on a hunting trip in the mountains.
It was very cold.
We met a Native American. No, so I was making a U-turn in front of a Starbucks to get a parking space downtown in the M5, and a cop pulled me over for that. And he was like, "You can't make a U-turn in a business district." Which, whatever. Like, I had enough room. You just can't do it. You can do it in a residential, but not in a business district. I was like, okay. And so I asked him, was like, how do I make a U-turn then? Like, what's the legal way to do it? Or can I not? Do I have to just like
Make like
go
3 right turns.
Yeah,
or something.
go like 4 blocks or whatever. And he told me what is legal, which I will tell you is the most difficult maneuver for a normal person to execute, is a U-turn at a 4-way stop, because it is legal.
Really?
And that's how you do it. Yeah.
All right.
But there's no way to indicate that's what you're about to try to attempt.
Yeah. Just kind of like try to signal all
There's
the
no
other 3
like
people.
rapid turn signal. There's nothing.
There's
you
no
can-
hand signal to indicate U-turn.
There's nothing you can do. And a U-turn, a 4-way stop intersection is usually a pretty like clockwork
Right, yeah,
thing.
yeah. Like the second you like start to go, the other guy's getting ready.
And so you can throw a wrench in that clock pretty fast, let me tell you, by trying to do a U-turn like an asshole in the intersection, which like no one is going to expect you to do. So people have already started to move.
Right.
And then you're turning, and so then you're making eye contact with other motorists who don't understand what you're doing until you're done.
And they probably think it's like actually an illegal move, and they're getting pissed off at you.
It's not clear what you're doing until you're
Right.
back out of the intersection, because you're just circling the
Yeah.
intersection, and people have like started to go and then stopped. So
A lot of 4-way stops don't even have room to do a U-turn.
you can, yeah, totally, you can pull it off. I mean, you have to
Like go pretty
Yeah, you
far.
have to like,
basically
you have to like
have to-
attempt to make a right
You're
turn. but then-
you're basically like putting on a show.
Yeah, you have to,
Fucking-
you're promenading. Look at me. You have to circumnavigate the intersection. You have to kiss 4 apexes. But you can do it, and it's legal, apparently. Yeah, the other
according
way,
to some cop.
according to some cop who told me once. The other way to do it, I would say, is just do like a brake stand.
yeah.
Spin it around. Give it the old reverse J turn. Execute the other one. Yeah, because I have seen people try to do the illegal U-turn in a business
Yeah.
zone, and it's a total dick move, because usually they're trying to get a parking space,
Right.
and it's like traffic's now stopped, and it's like, why? Oh, someone's trying to do a U-turn. You know? So now it makes sense why it's illegal, but I don't know if the intersection move is much better. Yeah. Apparently it is legal. It's funny, I mean, this isn't that good of a story, but what I actually did in the M5 was pull into a driveway and then back out,
Yeah.
and that is legal.
Yeah.
But he like didn't see that or something, and he like backpedaled when I was like, well, isn't that legal? That's what I did. He's like, oh, is that what you did?
Yeah.
It's
It's been a slow day.
Yeah, he was just, so he gave me a ticket for something else.
Damn.
But anyways, most dangerous activity, most difficult maneuver.
There you go.
But I did both within the span of 5 minutes. I almost crashed 6 times that morning.
And then got a ticket.
Yeah. No tickets. Okay, so here is basically a collection of thoughts.
We're doing something a little bit different.
Yeah, we don't really know how to connect these things, but the only way to connect them is to put them on a spectrum of things we don't like to things that we do like. That is one way to sort them.
Things we're not really so sure about.
And that is the way that I have sorted these things. So here is a number of thoughts that don't have anything to do with each other, other than
We don't like
some of them.
And we like others.
the lukewarm.
Yeah.
We're lukewarm on some. First up,
Drum roll.
things we don't like.
I wish we could have some music to go with.
Yeah, I was like, should this be a new like
Segment.
segment? We need some intros. Okay, things we don't like. 90s automatic shifters.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything weaker looking?
Okay, well, because automatics are pretty weak in general.
They're pretty good now.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're,
I mean,
they're
if
better.
If you have problems with your legs or something. It's
Are we
nice
just
that
talking
they
about? Are we
exist.
talking about the aesthetics of these shifters,
Yes.
or the actual functioning of the shifter?
I don't know what he's talking
I'm
about.
talking mostly about the
Aesthetics?
the purest aesthetics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, a column shift, like an old school column shift automatic, is just whatever.
That personally, the column shift is probably the best.
Yeah, it doesn't take up
version.
any space.
And it looks pretty cool to
Yeah.
operate.
And then like modern cars have, like push buttons or like kind of like stick-esque looking, like gated.
They try to like disguise the fact that it's a
John, pull up a picture of an.
It's already up, man.
No. Pull up a picture of a
We'll get to
FRS or a BRZ
get to
automatic.
Okay. I'll work on
yeah.
that.
Because they like. And this one, it seems like they kind of went out of their way to make it look like a stick.
Make it look
Where
like
if you kind of like peek in. Yeah, see if you can.
Like this?
Oh, does it have a boot?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a boot.
Yeah, like especially if you looked in from the passenger side, you'd be like, "Oh, sweet stick, hell yeah!"
It's a stick. You
Yeah,
still
they,
gotta.
they like went pretty hard on trying to make that.
You still gotta work it.
Yeah.
Up and down. There's a plus and
Yeah,
minus.
so I mean, like modern ones, you get like variations.
is that real? Is that?
That's it, man.
Stock?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad offender. They might have just like reused the shifter part number. On
Probably, yeah.
That's pretty close. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Okay, but at least it has some character. You can say
Yes.
that. Or like other ones are just like some are just like knobs and fucking
yeah,
dials.
like-
No.
Well, going back to this,
But
this is
anyways.
from a 94 Toyota Camry.
Yeah, but when you go back to the 90s,
Yeah.
Back in the
pretty much
day-
all 90s
Yeah, they were all
automatic shit.
Yeah.
This is actually like probably a good one. This is like up there.
It's just like
Like you would
a fucking-
call it like you would call attention to this. If
I just like the button on the side of it. Like the level of travel on that thing is like a full inch. Like it's like there's no mistaking when you're pushing that button. You want to
Yeah.
push that button.
they really drew attention to the button.
It's just like a straight fucking rectangle.
Yeah. Well, the ones I like are just like it's like a really thin little like pole going down.
Oh, you're
with,
talking
like,
about
a T.
you're talking. That's kind of more like an 80s.
Yeah, let's see. That's what 94 Camry.
Yeah.
Find like 70. Do like 84 Mustang automatic shifter. Try that.
That was good. Aren't you glad? Aren't you
That's a good year.
Aren't you glad you're here live?
I know.
You can watch this.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
that-
Middle.
That,
right
yeah,
here.
yeah,
Here we
Yeah,
go.
that's more what I'm talking about. Where
Yeah.
it's like this is before they got into like curves.
Right. Yeah. This is more geometric.
Yeah, it's a little more honest. It's what you're getting. Hand just rests on it. Anyways, pretty bad look.
By the way, can I just point out? This is a good time to point this out, but I kind of got this thought from my dad. But he would always get pissed off when someone would like swap their automatic shifter to like one of those B&M like racing automatics.
What was the deal with that?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's mainly for looks. I don't know. I mean, I guess
Okay.
theoretically you can like shift it faster.
You can shift it
But
harder.
like they never really like worked right.
Oh, really?
There'd be like an all
so you
original.
could put one on this. You
Yeah,
could do like
just like Google,
automatic
like
shifter
B&M
on a-
like automatic.
I think the other
shifter.
ones were. Okay.
I mean, they look like quote unquote cooler.
cool.
I think that's the biggest reason why people do it.
Oh, okay.
It's just like, yeah, like let me bang this thing through the key.
Okay. Sport shift.
They look kind of like toy. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they never work quite right. Like it's always like a little bit hard to tell. Like,
Oh, really?
Is it in drive? Is that in
Oh,
reverse now?
yeah.
Right.
It's I don't know. I don't really know if they serve any real functional purpose, but
Yeah. This is kind of this is in the same genre, which I was just reminding myself because I saw one the other day when people would put they would add a tack. Like the car has a
Right.
tack. and
some of
then
them didn't. But
Yeah, I guess some of them didn't. But you'd put it was a trend for a while. You'd
Yeah.
put this like
be huge.
huge tack.
You're talking about something like the ricer tack?
Sure, I mean that's a little offensive,
Right.
but some people,
Yes.
it was really popular to add a racing tachometer,
Right.
to your car, and like I guess gauges just weren't that good, maybe.
I don't know. Or you just wanted to show off.
Because, can
I
you
think
imagine-
most things are just about showing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that one really went away. Like, can you imagine someone doing a big aftermarket tack
With like
on,
a giant shift light on it.
like a
Yeah.
Challenger or something? Like they just don't seem to do them anymore.
Glenn Knight said 80s auto shifters look even worse. They look so thin and flimsy. Like they do kind of. It does kind of look like a hard shift with like
Yeah.
break the fucking thing in half.
Can you imagine breaking the auto?
Damn, that'd be a good gag for the next final
Yeah.
race.
John, write that down. Put that in the You didn't hear that. We're going to make some paper mache shifters. Okay. Did we beat that one?
I don't know. Justin said 93 Infinity J30 shifter. I don't know.
All right. Pause the podcast.
All right.
Hold on.
Wait.
Just search for 93 J30, right? J30 interior. That's a sweet car, by the way.
It is. I don't pause the cast for nothing.
Mm-hmm. Is this it?
Maybe.
Hold on. All right, let's bring it up.
I think you could get some better.
Enhance.
Probably a better shot than
This
that.
one, maybe? Yeah, here we go. This looks pretty good.
Let's check that bad boy out. That's not bad. I think that's pretty good.
I mean, that might be like a later model.
Yeah. It's got a little luxury to it, but yeah, it has the top button instead of the side button. A little more ergonomic, maybe. I don't know.
I'd say denied. You need to do a better job of pulling this podcast off the rails, Justin, before you just fire us off in a suggestion like that. Okay, so things we don't like. Number 2. This is not in order of most hated, but
These are quite random.
yeah, they're quite random. All-wheel drive versions of rear-wheel drive cars.
Okay, yeah. Are they ever?
What are some examples of those?
Well, like 3 Series.
Yeah, like almost
okay,
any
yeah.
BMW
or like IS
or a
300
G30.
or whatever. Or like
I mean, like
IS
those things
350.
fucking. They're pretty damn weak, right? Like,
Well, it's just like you live
Yeah,
in
like-
snow,
yeah,
I
like,
guess.
Yeah.
but you don't want to buy like an actual.
But you don't. But you want the big hit and gas
the only
mileage
the only
for
one
the
that's good
other.
is the GTR, right? Is that the? Well, I guess
GTR?
Porsche, maybe Porsche.
You mean the older GTR?
Yeah, well, I just like that's a rear-wheel drive based car that they added all-wheel drive to, but that's almost like its own.
R35? No, you mean the R34?
Yeah.
I don't know that they really added. I don't know. Sure.
But I mean,
maybe.
it's a rear-wheel drive based,
Yeah.
and they added all-wheel drive.
And you'd
but, like,
want the all-wheel drive version.
Because the one I'm
Theoretically.
more familiar with is like a front-wheel drive car that they do.
Yeah, no, I'm not
rear-wheel
talking.
drive.
I'm not talking.
Yeah,
about that.
no, that's rear-wheel driver. It's just like, oh, and then we also
like
put
any
a-
BMW like 328xi or something. Or
yeah, do you want like a slower, like
do you want like a bunch of weight over the front wheel?
do you want like we there wasn't really room, but we put some new.
There's like the G37X.
Yeah. Oh, did they? They made a G3. Yeah. Like I wouldn't even.
There's a bunch of other. There's even a Dodge Charger, like all-wheel drive.
Is there?
Yeah, and a Challenger too.
I'd like to do some aggressive launches.
I wonder, is the Jeep like that? Because it's all-wheel drive.
No, that thing's
Well, that-
designed to be four-wheel
Is it?
drive.
Yeah, SRT is
It's not,
specifically.
it's not. It's not an after thing.
Right.
Yeah, because rear-wheel drive on that's like you're cheap.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you didn't want the extra stuff.
I think almost all like luxury sports sedans are available.
There
like
must
that.
just be a segment of
It's
people.
like I
where
live
it's
in
like,
Michigan,
I need it,
but I want to have a
but I'm
3
not.
Series.
I'm wealthy enough for a BMW, but not wealthy enough to have like a RAV4 for the winter, and then anything better.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have something that is not good always. Somebody mentioned the new M5 all-wheel drive. I think
That's almost like GTR.
yeah,
Yes.
that is like that car is phenomenal. I wouldn't want to own one outside of a warranty, but that thing's got driving dynamics up the yin yang.
Yeah. That was purpose.
Well, a lot of those you can like almost disconnect the front.
That
if
one you
want to.
literally
Yeah,
can
yeah.
disconnect it and just if you're just. I think they and
And then you
good
can
for them. They do a lot of stuff where it's like people are gonna not like that it's all-wheel drive.
You can
so-
re-engage it when you're pulling your bass boat out of the water.
Yeah, when you're pulling your 6 Sea-Doo trailer out of the lake in your M5. You got the
on a snowy day.
when you got that thing up to the axle in lake water, M dynamic mode.
Yeah.
punch
By
it.
the way, if you ever want to have some entertaining stuff to watch, just look for like boat launch fails or whatever.
pretty
Yeah,
solid.
go have a picnic at your local launching site. Play some Benny Hill music. Oh man, yeah, all-wheel drive versions of rear-wheel drive cars.
Thumbs down.
Things we do not like. 6 thumbs down. It's-
It's a new record.
yeah. Okay, other things we don't like. This one was relevant because it just happened. But people driving aggressively, first of all, thumbs down.
Not a fan.
What's the hurry?
Yeah. But especially, I mean, we can all agree, yeah, like, you're a dick, you're driving fast. But people who will drive aggressively on, like, Christmas Day
Oh yeah, yeah.
or, like, Thanksgiving.
I have someplace to be.
Yeah, it's like
no shit. Like everyone
dude,
does.
why do you think
Everyone is
any of us are on the road today?
Yeah.
And they're like, first of all, if you get in an accident, you're a huge asshole.
Yeah.
Because you just slowed everyone down. But as if you have somewhere to be more importantly than somebody else. Like, I've got to get to my family.
Yeah.
I have a big shindig.
I have a gathering of close family members that I need to get to. It's like, yeah, everyone.
Everyone's doing the same thing.
Literally no one wants to be driving unless they're doing what you're doing. So I don't know. That one definitely pisses me off because I just did it. I just drove down for Thanksgiving and Christmas both times. And both times people fucking people driving aggressively.
What was it when Thanksgiving or Christmas when you were driving down when you said there was like 6 cars that were like pulled off in the ditch? Did we already
I
tell
think
the story?
We talked about that.
Yeah.
It was the first rain,
Yeah.
and I counted 6 cars that
Things
had
got out of hand.
Spun out of control.
spun far
Off the road into a ditch.
far off the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just like they pulled over to
Right.
reassess their speed. It was like
No.
they spun.
And then kept going.
The wrecker had to come.
That's right, yeah, we did talk
winch
about
them
that.
out. Yeah, we talked about it. So yeah, people driving aggressively on holidays. The other one I want to add to that is people driving aggressively in a tight downtown setting. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you'll see this where they're just like flooring it up to the neck or stoplight or whatever, or showing off exhaust or whatever. It's like, has anyone in the history of man
Since the dawn of man.
humankind.
been like, damn, like
Impressive, yeah.
that Charger?
Sounds good.
I would put parking lots on that list too.
Yeah.
Like basically, you should never hear
Like parking
like
structures.
you should never hear acceleration in a parking lot.
Yeah.
Like you should never hear a car even go like, "Whoa."
Yeah, there's no there's no reason to make noise. That's just the asshole alarm. If you somehow make it out of first gear, you're just a huge tool. But yeah, anytime I see people driving in a tight situation, downtown setting,
Sometimes they just got to get somewhere.
it's like, okay, the next stop sign is a 32nd of a mile away, and you're punching it, and there's pedestrian I don't know. Yeah. Bad. Thumbs down.
I'm not a fan.
Okay, another one, kind of related. Trucks flooring it.
Oh, it's kind of in the same vein.
Talking about pickup trucks?
Pickup.
Okay.
Big trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, semi flooring it would be sweet.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
That-
Shifting every like half a second.
Hold on. Let me modify the list.
just for the minutes.
Added something new.
Something new. You're not going to know what it is till we get there, but I just put something good on the things we like list. But since we're still on things we don't like, trucks flooring it. Like sometimes some of them sound decent because they have V8s.
But usually not.
Usually not. And like you'll hear someone kind of getting on it. You're like, oh, what is it? And you'll turn. It's like full-size Chevy pickup. like what a loser.
I think it's because they seem to do it a lot for some reason.
Or at least it's very
Yeah,
noticeable
it's just
when
like,
they do.
I've got a big engine.
I don't
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty bad. I think we've covered that.
Moving on.
Well, because they're still also like even if they are like somewhat quick, like they never look quick. Like wow, that
Yeah, it's really moving.
that Silverado was moving.
Yeah. Has anyone in the history of man ever turned to view a truck accelerating quickly and thought that was cool? Even like a Raptor.
Yeah.
It's not going to be moving so fast that you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, well, he is.
Wow.
Woo.
That thing is really fast. Man. Okay. Things we're not sure about.
Okay.
All right.
We've reached the middle of the list.
Yes.
V6 engines.
Now, I've been going back and forth on this one quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought when I was building this
List.
podcast script, This is an on rails script, by the way.
Yeah.
No deviation.
Yeah. Including this line.
This was all rehearsed.
Somewhere in between Star Wars Battlefront and right now when I was writing this. I originally put it in the things we don't like section, and Garrett told me to move it.
Yeah. Uh-huh. There's a hot debate.
Personally, I think they're kind of weak. Well, I guess the Forerunners
Well,
are
see,
V6.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. All right. Maybe I'm there with you.
Well, because it's like there was a time when like V6 was good, wasn't there?
We've been through this.
The
In the
camera-
80s, when they like
It was-
invented it, apparently.
it was a big deal.
We're very proud of it.
Because it could V6 can go from like, oh, the Camry's got a V6, not bad, to like, oh, V6 Camaro.
I guess it depends.
I think it
on
just
the
depends. Yeah, it
context.
depends on the car. Like
Well,
if the
and-
V6 is the top of the line model, or if it's the
Well, and
base
now
model.
like V6s are kind of like gone away. They're kind of gone the way of the Dodo.
Yeah, it's like Turbo 4.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's almost now it's like, oh yeah, this car's still got a V6, baby, naturally aspirated.
It has many moving parts.
So it's like I don't know, like are they cool?
I don't think you
Are they
just-
weak?
I don't think you just pass judgment.
I think
Did I?
they're past their prime.
I don't think
they're
you
on
can.
they're on the decline. I think.
Yeah.
But that might make them good though.
Oh,
That's-
that's right. It's
No.
back. Hold on. I thought maybe we can pass judgment. You have to add a lot of qualifiers. Inline 6, although
There's some pretty shitty inline six. Well, not in recent memory. Well, I mean, like all sixes used to be inline, like in the 50s.
Yeah.
if you make a current inline 6,
it's probably cool.
probably cool. Isn't Mercedes like going back to
Yeah, supposedly Dodge is too.
Really?
Or FCA or whatever.
inline 6? Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That one I would declare
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
mostly sweet.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let's modify the list again. Yeah, V6s. I'd say the jury's out. Well, we said we're not sure, so I guess we're.
We haven't really learned anything.
Yeah, we've confirmed our suspicion.
We're not quite sure how to feel.
Okay, here's another one we're not sure about, or at least I'm not. And these guys don't know what I'm about to say, so I'm going to draw it out. Now, recently I was leaving work and I saw something parked across the street, which caused me to question whether or not I liked it. And that is,
You were taken aback.
I was taking.
You stopped dead in your tracks.
I don't know that I stopped walking. It wasn't that big.
You had
of a
to question
reaction.
some things about your lifestyle.
So you're saying there was a little side glance,
There was one of my eyes drifted toward it,
and then immediately back to where you're.
and then I immediately didn't want to think about it. And that is the early 2000s.
Okay. It's not looking
Okay.
good so far.
I like where you're going
there's
with
not,
this.
There's not much good from that era.
Volkswagen.
Okay.
New Beetle.
No.
Here's the thing: my high school girlfriend
Yeah.
had one.
Oh,
The
hell
turbo,
yeah.
the turbo model.
no,
too.
it wasn't turbo.
Oh, she didn't.
No.
Oh, I thought
And
she did.
I hated it. It was
Right.
I was embarrassed to be. Seen
was stick,
in
right?
And it was
was stick.
silver too, right? So it wasn't
Silver.
even the like obnoxious like
It
color.
was stick.
Yeah.
It was silver.
2 point slow.
I did not enjoy being seen in that car
Shocking.
because when it was new, it was like hyper feminine.
Yes.
you know,
Had
or
the
at least
vase. Had the vase.
yeah, you could. It had like an optional flower vase, that
Right.
You could. So it's like it was received in that way. It was painted, whether or not they meant for it to be, which I'm not sure if they did. And I just always assumed that. And then I saw one the other day. I'm not saying I liked it,
But
but I was confused by what I felt.
John, Google a new Beetle like RSI. I think.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what it's called. That thing's
Okay.
fucking. But I feel like these.
See, the new one's not bad. Oh wait,
This
I see.
thing?
I thought you were gonna. I thought you were talking new.
No, well, I mean like that. This was like the cool version of the
Really?
original new Beetle.
Was this
Yeah.
made?
Was this in America or was
Not,
this
probably not in America.
probably
not
yeah,
America.
yeah.
Damn.
Europe only? But yeah.
I don't know what. I honestly don't know if it was just a 1.8 turbo. I don't know.
See, if
what-
I saw
I don't
that-
know anything about
This
what's
is
underneath.
a real car, though.
Yeah. This
Somebody.
is a production car.
Yeah, that's it's like an R32 esque Beetle. I think.
See, that looks pretty nice.
Probably wrong about that.
From certain angles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can see that design. I don't know about now. It's still a little new, but I could see that becoming like a definitive like 90s classic.
That's why
Yeah.
that's what my half of my eyesight thought when
Yeah.
I saw it. It was like, hold on, that is kind of on its way to not really looking dated, just looking.
Oh,
like
and it never really looked dated. Well,
that's what I mean. It just doesn't. It didn't.
It didn't really age. It just
Yeah, it
just
didn't
is
go
what
in
it
a
is.
direction
Yeah.
of
It's like, oh,
automotive
90s,
design.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just, oh yeah, I remember those. And
Although the interior probably doesn't hold up as well.
the interior
modern,
wasn't bad.
yeah.
Oh, you mean the aesthetic?
Just
of
like
it?
yeah, plasticky.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah, I don't really remember that part, but the a similar look, which is less. I don't know if it makes it cooler or not cool, but the first Audi TT.
so it's just like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a squished version. Of
Right.
that.
Yeah, it was basically bring that up since we have this image burned into our mind. Those were not I mean they're still like similar looking, but not as feminine. Maybe I don't know if that still matters.
I think the
It's
problem
kinda
is
less cool.
I think
because
it's because they kept making the TT. They still make it, right?
yeah,
Don't they?
Yeah.
and the new one's like
It's just like that.
Good.
It's just like a more like
it's still the same
burlier
shape.
version of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Beetle like embraced its femininity.
I think the Beetle is almost cooler than this. I'm sure this is a better car,
Yeah.
but this is just turning into like kind of dated.
I remember that the new Beetle and the Boxster were like the definitive like
The new
European
wave.
cars of like the mid to late 90s.
Yeah. Okay. Not Audi TT.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Thumbs down to that.
Yeah.
I had that same feeling when like the new body style Beetle came out, when I was like, oh, because like they kind of made it more look like the classic Beetle.
The current one.
The current one,
they
yeah,
just
where like
stopped
it's not a
making.
perfectly domed roof.
Yeah, the current one is like more attractive.
Yeah.
That one's fine.
But I was like, oh, that kind of looks neat, and then I just completely forgot about
it,
it.
Yeah, I don't want
and
one.
it just
Done with
it
my
just
life.
wasn't as nearly as big of a deal.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. It wasn't.
they improved the look of it.
Yeah.
They basically made it more acceptable for a
Yeah, a longer nose and a shorter back end.
normal person.
Yeah.
I like them. I'm feeling them. So okay, I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
We are not sure how we feel about
Yeah.
it. Give it another 10 years. We'll see. Things we do like. Semi trucks flooring.
Yeah, getting after it. Yeah,
Pretty sweet. I've never seen it,
yeah.
Well, you may have,
but in my mind,
you probably actually have. You just
actually I
can't.
probably have. But it seems pretty sweet.
It's just massive turbo boost, but like not any movement.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. Inline sixes,
Pretty sweet.
also like those.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. Okay. Other things we like, and this is probably the least hot but truest statement you'll ever hear on this podcast. V8s.
Pretty sweet.
They're fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't listen to what people say.
Yeah.
yeah. If you don't own, here's the thing. I think it was Top Gear when I think Clarkson was like, at some point in your life, you should own a V12 or something. It was just like a statement.
That's a little
Yeah.
rich.
And I was like, I get it. Like, I'm sure. But, like, who cares? There's only, like, 3 good V12s that aren't hypercar.
Is the new 850 a V12 or is that a V8?
850 what?
BMW. Yeah,
I don't think BMW.
because the old ones were right. Yeah.
They're new.
That was like 25 years ago.
Yeah, V12 is now 60. 50 is just a V8.
Yeah.
It'll be like a 550 is just a V8.
Right.
So if they have 60 in it, I think that's still a V12. Like
Do
a
they?
760.
BMW still makes. Are you sure about that? Sure, it's not like a turbo V8 or something.
Jamie, bring that up.
Who's Jamie?
Bro,
You're Jamie.
What,
Yeah, yeah.
860?
John is basically.
What am I doing now?
760 Li. I think it's a V12. I know.
I don't think it's a V.
A new one?
Jamie, get to the
no.
bottom of this.
Jamie, bring up the. No, don't. Yeah, fuck it. 760 is a V12. Lena settled it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Boom.
Lena.
Thanks.
Okay.
Lena.
John, go ahead and super chat Lena $2.
Go refund her.
Jamie.
Why don't you refund her? She's. We gotta get her to Skype in here.
Yeah.
So yeah, they still make
Okay.
it.
Fine.
Anyways, the way that we got on this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because they make a M760. That's right.
That's a V12.
Look that up.
Okay.
Jamie, bring up the M760. Yeah, and I think it might be M.
Because the M5 is a V8 twin turbo.
V8.
I would have thought. I just would have assumed it was like a lesser version of that. But.
Yeah, no, they make it M760 Li or some stupid X all-wheel drive.
Oh hell yeah!
There it is.
It's like a monstrosity. Oh man, I want to just Turo one of these for like a day. I would never want to own that.
That grill though.
Apparently, it's like fast as shit. I mean,
I would hope so. I would hope so.
yeah, it has 260 horsepower. Yeah, no, those things they're very excessive.
If it actually has a V12, which I'm still not sure about.
I'm pretty sure.
It's been confirmed.
I think it's a twin turbo V12.
It's a twin turbo V12. God.
Yeah,
That's just like pure, like made for the sake of.
yeah.
There's no like.
Can you imagine like owning this for 25 years?
Is there any like practical reason
there we
for that
go.
car to have a V12?
There it
In
is.
case-
It's right there.
in case you
well.
were, in case your passenger was curious, what kind of engine?
How many
it had.
cylinders your car
In case your
have?
fellow podcaster.
That's the thing about V12s is it's like you better let them know it's a V12. Such a like flex. Anyway,
How do you feel about that automatic shifter?
I mean,
It's kind of weird.
it's fine.
It's a lot of buttons.
Looks
Yeah.
like something you'd see in a Supra.
That looks like something you'd see in like a 2 Series,
Yeah.
228i. V12.
Convertible.
V12. I'm surprised it's not a button you can push.
For M mode.
Pops the hood.
Yeah.
Anyways, somebody, I think it was Clarkson, said like you should own a V12 at some point in your life, and it's like, I'm probably never gonna do that unless I'm rich. But a V8, I kind of believe you should just own one at all times.
And never get rid of it.
Yeah, you should not. You should never not own a V8 of some sort, whether it's your daily driver, which is probably not a good idea, but
Meh,
maybe
debatable.
John does.
Debatable.
Yeah. Or your like special car or whatever, because they're just fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Like good ones.
Yeah.
Even bad ones.
Even bad ones are good. At least they sound.
Yeah.
Like there's not a bad V8 motor. You can't even some like smog.
Yeah.
Late
305.
70s. Yeah. At least you can. It's like if you just pull the mufflers off.
Yeah. It sounds way better.
It's like you can't
Can't go wrong.
you can't fuck them up. Plus they're powerful and all that, but it's just like the V8 I think will essentially never die. It's going to take a couple generations of people, even when everything's electric and whatever, to stop caring about V8s.
It's going to take like an act from Congress to shut
Yeah,
it
it's
down.
like-
I'm sure they're working on it.
Yeah, it's like that's gonna be the mountain people die on. You can
V8
take my
man.
V8 and like cold dead hands. Yeah.
You could have my V6.
Oh, I thought I was still drinking Pepsi.
I knew that was gonna.
That's
Surprise.
terrible. That's not a good combo.
Once you queued
You're
up,
saying Coors Light's not a good chaser to a Pepsi? Shocking. Carbro's top tip.
It's not good. Yeah. Carbro's top tip: own a V8. Just have one.
Yeah.
Just.
Speaking of, Garrett just got one.
Oh yeah.
He just
That's
upgraded
true.
to a
yeah.
Oh, you know
Mustang
what
GT.
else? Speaking of which, my brother bought. I don't have the picture ready.
What's up, Chris?
What's up, Chris?
Hey, Chris.
My brother who watches this, who's in the audience.
Yes.
Live studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on up here. Come on down.
FaceTime with your brother right now.
He bought. So I don't know. I'm assuming most of our audience has been to a junkyard. I'm just assuming that, and
Yeah.
probably close to 95% correct. for some reason, but every once in a while, like junkyards do this thing where it's just like they will just have sales.
Half price day.
Where
And
it's
that might
just
actually be this weekend.
Like Black Friday.
Yeah, they'll just be like fucking 90%. Like they're just because they're just trying to. It's like they bought the cars for $100, and they're like
trying to move some inventory.
Just
Yeah.
clean us out, please. And so every once in a while, they'll do like engine days or whatever. They're like,
Engine dealing day.
Yeah.
engine dealing. Yeah, December to remember event. Pick apart. Come on down in the snow and yeah. And so he bought engine from Pick Apart. He did it. He
Went and did
Yeah.
He went and did it. There was I'm not positive what it was. I think it was a CLK 55.
Ooh.
And yeah, and
what is that?
it's I don't know.
That's a V8 though, right?
It's V8,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the AMG. It's before they went to the supercars
6.2,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I don't know Mercedes stuff.
Right.
It's a W126
Yeah.
motor. It's going to be W something.
Yeah.
I know. I think those are pretty bulletproof engines.
Yeah.
Like before they went
Naturally
to,
aspirated V8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a push rod, lowish displacement for like 5 something, maybe 5.5, I don't know. 5.4 V8. Thanks, Lena. So he bought one. He bought
You're getting and we're all getting screwed.
he bought this damn motor for I think $150.
Damn.
From a junkyard. Yeah.
Was it a running motor or did he not know?
Bro, it's junkyard.
No, I know, but like,
Bro, it's a little roulette.
they didn't have a
$150.
They didn't have a fact sheet with it.
Roll the yeah. What do you think they're gonna like compression test
They
it
didn't
for you at
start it up.
the counter?
Yeah.
Chris said it's not push rod, you dork.
Isn't it?
Apparently not, bro. He bought it.
All right.
You would know.
Yeah.
He would know.
Let's wait for Lena.
Lena, settle this. Isn't it push rod? I swear.
All right.
God, I hope it's push rod. I'm just gonna shut this podcast down. I'm putting you on the list of things we don't like.
Chris.
Talk back to me from the audience. Anyways, he now owns a V8.
Is it in a car?
No, he has
Just in his living room.
yeah, but
Hey, he's accomplished
hey, checks our box.
the aforementioned
You
goal.
can just spin the flywheel slowly and
I'm just
imagine
saying,
it.
for $150, you can satisfy our requirement of owning a V8. Yeah, so V8s, pretty sweet. Oh, we've got more. Okay, on the list of things to own. No, on the list of things we like.
Yes.
My other friend, of my two friends,
My other,
Not including these.
literally my one other,
another friend I have,
another one of my many.
yeah, a multitude of two. My friend Sarah, who I think listens to this podcast.
What's up, Sarah?
What's up, Sarah?
What's up, Sarah? We were, I was downtown, and I was
I kind of said that you have a lot of downtown.
Yeah, he's downtown a lot.
I live in a small town,
And he goes
there's
downtown.
Nothing outside of the downtown.
It's where everyone goes.
Yeah, it's like that's where.
Should we just
well,
assume every one of your stories takes place downtown?
Yeah.
well, it's helpful to imagine. I'm not like crossing.
But this
the
is
street.
different than like New York City downtown. This is like,
It's still.
You're talking.
This is like-
He's talking like quaint down.
yeah,
Yeah, sure.
There's
but
no hustle and bustle.
there's a little
With
bustle.
the subway station.
I'm there.
You took the blue line to the.
I bring the bustle. I'm just saying it's like stop signs and
Yeah.
street parking
Right.
and
Yeah.
antique shops. It's downtown.
Little mom and
Some
pop.
dense-
Dense, there's some dense
I'm
population.
sorry, it's not
activity.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
Jeez. It's downtown. It helps
Not
people
Detroit.
paint a picture.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm in this downtown setting, making my way through the crowds.
You're wearing a business suit and carrying a brief.
I've got my 3-piece suit on.
There's a lot of blustery winds.
Yeah, I've got my overcoat. Skyscrapers.
Blimps in the air.
Yeah, there's a blimp. I'm crossing the street in the crosswalk at the four-way stop, downtown setting. And my friend Sarah pulls up, and I'm crossing in front of her, and she does the move where when you're in a car and your friend's in front of you, you like punch it slightly. It's like,
Yeah.
Keep them on their toes.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I'm gonna hit you.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yes.
And like that's the joke, and it made me think like it's a pretty funny joke.
So,
Like, you pretty much almost always do it.
Yes.
If, like your friends are crossing in front of you and you're in a car, you're like, you know?
Yeah, a little
Like,
lurch.
yeah.
I might kill you.
It's
Little
like,
rev.
get it? I'm gonna hit you with my car, and like everyone else could laugh. And so she did that to me. And first of all, that's the thing for the list. That
Like-
move.
Yeah.
You can't
Things
see,
we
but
like.
coin's actually paralyzed below
She
the
hit
table.
me.
And then you
Yeah.
can't-
She got me good.
This is similar to a callback to a previous podcast where you had you're both driving.
Yeah,
you and
I
your
was
friend
talking
are
about
driving
that.
head on.
But
And
that didn't resonate.
You do
with
the
you
pump
guys.
fake like
I
you're going
do
to
the
swerve.
move. Like,
Yeah.
like the steering rod broke and I'm
Yes.
coming into your lane. Now, this one I think a lot more people do where it's just like you goose it a little bit. And so she did that, and I was like, haha, like, that's a sweet move.
Got me.
And so that's the thing on the list. But it made me realize once cars are like autonomous, they're not going to. That's a whole awesome joke.
You can't program that in.
Yeah, that's going to like go away. And it's not funny in an EV because you don't hear it.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not funny. It's like the joke is gone. Yeah. And so it's like, I'm just trying to preserve that joke.
That's future generation.
I'm just trying to call attention.
That's your goal in life.
Yeah,
we, need to start, we need to start like a foundation to preserve.
That's why you need to own a V8 so people can hear you to make that joke.
Some glass packs.
You need to announce that joke is happening. Okay. And lastly, things I don't know. This one's just me. I think you guys will agree.
Ending with a bang.
I think you guys will agree this is something sweet. When you're like I consider myself into cars. And every once in a while, I will see a car that is so lame that I've never even heard of it.
You're talking about like modern?
Yeah, like
newish.
it's like I maybe should have known about it.
That this exists.
Yeah, and so let's play a little game.
Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie, why don't you bring up? Okay. So first I want to ask you guys, don't tell me what it is, just tell me if you've heard of it. And the audience can try to imagine this if they don't know what it is. The Pontiac Montana.
Okay, I know it.
You do know it? Of course.
I know it well.
Okay. How many people know what this is? When John brings this up, are they going to know what's going to be on the screen? Damn. So this thing drove past me.
There it is.
Apparently it's a minivan.
Yeah.
And it drove past me, and they invested enough effort into this thing to make its own like Montana badge on the door. Yeah, so it drove past me, and I looked over, and it was like, Montana. I was like, I don't even know what kind of car this is. I don't even know. I don't even know who makes this thing. And so there it is.
I kind of like that.
The Pontiac Montana. Yeah, I was like, I bet Garrett has heard of this stupid thing.
Yeah. Of course he has.
This anonymous, weak minivan.
There's nothing anonymous about that, bro. See how active that thing looks?
Announce your presence.
It's pretty sweet that they named it after an actual like U.S. state. I wonder if like people in Montana actually think this is pretty owning this.
All
is like,
residents got a free.
It's on the same level as like a Ferrari, California.
I've got a Colorado and a Montana.
Yeah.
Wait, why is that the Montana? Like, is that?
It's an active minivan.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's for the rugged, the Badlands.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something cool about it. I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah. Somebody said it might be named after Joe Montana.
Possible.
You
Yeah.
never
Could
know.
be a celebrity link.
Yeah.
All right.
Help develop
Endorsed.
Yeah, he did like the Ayrton Senna.
it. Took it around the Nürburgring.
Yeah, they put Joe Montana in it. Stiffer. Make it stiffer. So anyways, things that I like are when I see a car. There's some Daewoo's too. Like I'll see one, and it's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck that.
I can't
thing
even
is.
name a single model of a Daewoo, like
Bro,
a current model.
Oh, do they still make the Laganza?
I don't know.
I get like that about current like Audis and stuff.
Yeah,
Like is that an
that's
SQ2?
Oh yeah, when it's
or is
just
that
a series of numbers
Q
and letters.
something?
Yeah,
Like, what the-
Yeah,
you can't keep up.
the
But in Montana, I'd recognize in a heartbeat.
I know that from the turn signal. The SQ3,
Something.
but it's more than that. RSQ3. It says
What manufacturer?
Audi, obviously.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm calling out.
SQ5,
No,
SQ3R.
it's not SQ3. That's not a combination of things I said. I think it's RSQ3.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small. There it is. Bring it up. This is the news section of this podcast. I don't know about like lime green, but
I do know about
Fine.
I like that thing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
All-wheel drive, sporty, small.
Cute.
Yeah.
It's basically a RS3 with ground clearance. I think it's cool.
5-cylinder.
Yes, the RS.
So if it's an RS3,
Three
then it is a
motor.
five, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. See, you
Yeah.
feeling that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and Put that on the things
Yeah,
we like.
confirmed.
Move that
Keep
over.
this list going. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know why I mentioned that. Oh, because you were making fun of Audi. Okay. That is it for this month's segment of things we do and don't like.
Wait,
Taking you
wait.
around the.
Oh, is that
Oh.
is that something else?
Uh,
Is that you saving that for?
I don't know. You know what? I think that was supposed to go on the things I don't like.
Oh.
Yeah, you skipped over one.
Okay.
Let me just say that this picture that you're about to see here in a moment. We've been looking at this like since the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah. So
It's just been sitting up there.
the first gen, 'cause apparently there's two now, Chevy Spark. Is there
Folks.
like a worst road presence? Like, dude, I bought a new car. Come outside. I'm pulling up right now. Oh no.
Well, this and like smart cars, they're kind of on the same plane.
Yeah, I guess. Smart car is
Smart car's at least notable,
yeah.
sort of. But the crazy thing about this is the Chevy Sonic is like their like subcompact.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we need a car that's like smaller
Yeah,
and shittier.
make it
than
smaller.
that.
Yeah, this is even smaller, right?
Yes.
For some people, the Sonic is just too much.
Yeah, too much room.
Is it too much to handle?
Yeah.
Can we make something even smaller? Maybe this is like an export. Maybe-
Yeah, that thing's definitely made in Korea.
Yeah.
Oh, you think
Most
so?
definitely.
I was thinking India.
I don't know about
but-
made in Korea, but I'm sure it's developed. I'm
thought
sure that thing has a heavy Daewoo fingerprint on it.
This guy, Justin, who's trying to redeem himself from that Infinity I-30
J30 or something. Yeah,
J30 non sequitur he let us on. Said, I used to sell Chevys. We sold the Spark for $10,000. Sold them by the boatload. Made my paycheck.
There you go.
Fucking living high off
All
that.
right, fair enough.
Yeah.
It is Korean. Damn. Credit where it's due. Called it. Okay. That was. I don't know how that one dropped off the list.
Captain Zoll just said it literally is a Daewoo Matisse.
There you go.
Take his word for
Matisse,
that one.
that's
Yeah.
Matisse. I'd rather have Daewoo, I think.
I'd rebadge mine if I
Yeah.
had one.
Yeah. So Garrett bought a new car. Did we
did.
talk about that already?
No.
No.
Well, we mentioned
He
it.
sold the Type R a couple months ago. He had a Civic Type R, sold it, and then he has been blowing up the chat
Yeah.
with all the different
All the cars
Various-
he wants to, yeah,
all the different
wants to replace it with.
fantasies
Various vehicles.
that we have been forced to entertain for about 10 minutes.
He was stuck on. You'll never guess this. A Challenger.
What?
You
No, I'm
wanted.
not
You were
stuck
looking
on.
at Challengers again.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
Was I?
Yes.
You were.
And I was like, dude, you.
Oh
owned
no,
it.
no, that wasn't to buy. I was just like pointing out how cheap they were.
Okay. Well,
Which is pretty
it's hard
cheap.
to tell the difference.
That's
Sometimes
true.
when you're posting.
Anyway.
You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
He has been not carless,
At any rate,
but
cool car.
cool carless.
Yeah.
He's certainly been V8.
Yeah. V8 list. So it's cool.
No
factor.
longer.
Yeah,
drop down.
no longer. So he bought a new car.
It's
Do you have
a-
picture of- I guess not. Go ahead.
It's on our Instagram.
It's on our Instagram, which apparently we have.
It is a 2016 Ford Mustang GT.
2016.
Like performance
That's
pack
not
or
GT.
something.
Yeah, a pretty boring choice, but
I don't know about boring.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's not.
you don't really have a whole lot of
It's
choice.
not. Yeah.
It's not Type R.
It's not interesting.
Bold.
Yeah, but could have been worse.
No, but but I was saying like, because I test drove a couple before I got this one,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, dude, Mustang GT is like kind of underrated, and you guys are like, what the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?
he tried to claim that the Mustang. See if you agree or not. He posited that the Mustang GT was an underrated car.
Yeah. And the Coyote was an underrated motor.
And the Coyote was an underrated motor.
And we
what are
said-
your back up your?
yeah.
Well, I
Def-
think it's
defend
I think it's
yourself.
largely because the GT350
Yeah.
exists, so that just like
overshadowing
that just
it,
like
yeah.
stole
Yeah.
all the attention, all the hype.
Right.
But like that fucking Coyote motor is sweet. Like weird, like not just in like the traditional like V8 sense,
Yeah,
but like the way that thing, like my car revs to 7,000 RPM,
the Mustang.
and and the motor just like keeps like it pulls like a almost like a VTEC esque like V8. Like no one, like I don't know, no one really fucking talks about that, right?
The thing is, I think they did go crazy for it when
When it was
motor
brand new.
Was brand new
Like 10
in-
years ago.
Yeah, 2011, because that was really the start of that engine, and
Yeah.
it has gotten better since then.
Yeah.
But that was the 420.
But like, yeah, but people
horsepower.
like they talked about the horsepower, but like when the Miata like got like a whatever like a red line bump like a year ago, like that thing revs to 7,500. Like the new Miata, like that's a
Yeah.
proper sports car engine.
Yeah.
Like the fucking thing has like 180 horsepower.
Yeah.
Like a brand new Mustang GT revs to 7,400. Like
it makes
base
like
model.
460 or
Yeah.
something.
yeah, it's like.
And it's like
People-
reliable.
Like that. What other car revs to 7,400 RPM?
that's
right
that's
now.
those are exotic figures.
That's
20 years ago.
Yeah,
Maybe
even like
15.
now, but like the Civic Type R revs to like 6850 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know, like that part of that motor like isn't really talked about.
And so that's what you're saying by it being underrated.
Yeah, and I don't mean like underrated like power wise.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's so common.
Common, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really follow the press when it was new in 2011, but I think people were going pretty nuts for it at the time. But maybe not.
I mean, I think it was just more the power, just like the Mustang
Now it has
because
this
it
much
went from
power.
like 300 to like 400. Something.
Yeah.
I mean that jump, because what 2010 was the
4.6.
4.6,
Yeah.
and then
Overhead cam.
2011 they came out with that motor, and it was like, it wasn't just like now it's
It's like the fucking
pistons
the
are stronger.
the 8.6 revs to like 75. I think
The what? Oh,
the like
Super.
the RZ.
yeah.
Yeah. And like and that motor like doesn't even like sound doesn't even
No,
sound like it
Yeah.
wants to
And
rev.
that motor's terrible.
Yeah.
That motor is boring.
I mean, it's fine, but like that people are like, oh, at least at least you can rev it out.
Yeah.
I don't know, like what other mainstream motors rev that high today?
Yeah. The thing for me, I agree with you. I know I was just giving you a
No.
boatload of shit. I know what you're trying to say. I know what you were struggling to articulate.
Yeah.
I get it. To me, that motor feels very similar to the Challenger V8, the 6.4,
Smaller.
and the. I mean, I guess I haven't spent enough time. The LT1,
Yeah,
is that the
Camaro.
new Camaro one? So I have now driven all those, and if I'm sure if you did it back to back to back,
You notice.
you know, it's like all things. Anytime you read someone's like professional review, and there's like two cars, it's like this one's dead, this one's dead. It's like no one outside of somebody in your position
Yeah.
is going to notice the things that you're talking about, because you are jumping out of one car and immediately beating on the other one. My takeaway from all three of those is like they all feel pretty similar. They don't have giant power dips.
Yeah.
Like it used to be a car with like literally just not pull hard at red line and be like, yeah, it's like pretty lame.
Right.
Past.
Well, it's just funny because so
X
many
power
like
level.
turbo motors, like they're like
I guess those still
like
do it.
oh, you can just like fucking like short shift this, like just shift at 55. Like
Yeah.
you don't even need to rev it up to. It's like
Yeah,
6,400
the turbo
RPM.
stuff still
red
kind
line.
of does that. Where
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, it's like a ton of torque down low, and then it kind
Yeah.
of wheezes.
Like it doesn't do anything.
But to me, I guess what I was saying is all three of those V8s feel similar. And yeah, the Mustang revs way higher, but there's no part of you that's like, oh, the number.
No.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like you change the
It-
gearing.
well, yeah, it's
and-
more just like I don't. To me, when I drive that car, it feels like it like 5,800, 6,000 RPM. Like it's like it just keeps going. You know, and
It does have some variable.
yeah.
I don't think
it's
the-
32 valve.
I don't think the valve lift changes, but the timing does.
Right.
And it's dual overhead cam. I mean, it's everything that people used to make fun of American cars for,
For not
not being.
Yeah.
It's now all of those things way more
Five
than,
times or like three times.
way
as
more
much.
than any European or Japanese.
Yeah, well, it's like people
manufacturer
still like
doing.
jerk off about the E92. Well, that thing revs to like 8, right? Isn't it
84.
84? Well, it's like so it's 1,000 more than the current
Yeah.
Mustang. But
Those are cool, but not that cool. I don't know. I do, and I don't like them. I don't think I want to own one. Maybe I do. Hold on.
Yeah. Go back to your list.
I think I do. I think I do want to own it. Yeah, it's kind of funny because it used to be like, well, I
liked rev.
I prefer a like high efficiency motor. That's why, like, that was kind of when back in the day when it was like imports versus domestic.
Imports
It's
versus
like
V8.
two different kinds of ways to make power. Do you like dumb and simple, or like high revving but efficient? And now it's just like, yeah, that 5 liter like stomps
Yeah.
any fucking motor out of like any Japanese or any European, mostly because they don't have to meet the same emissions requirement. And that's the thing. It's like before BMW got cut down, they're putting a fucking V10 in the M5. That's probably good that ended. But it's just funny now. It's like that's not an argument anymore because that Mustang motor in the base GT Mustang is now
Well, like I said,
better
like
than-
I remember one, a year ago, when they updated the Miata engine.
Yeah.
Like it revs to 75 now. Like that is a proper sports car engine.
yeah, finally. Finally someone has the balls off her.
It's like, yeah, the Mustang does that too with like 3 times as much displacement.
Yeah, that is a pretty fun. It's a fun car to drive. You liking it?
Yeah, I like
Still, I drove
it's
it.
not. It can be. It's good because it can be improved. Where it's not like so good that like, what am I going to do to this thing?
because you bought a like kind of base,
Right.
low option,
Right.
whatever. I mean,
And just, I mean, you could put better wheels and tires. You can, you can make it
Exhaust.
have a little more power if you want. But
Yeah.
it's not like
put your own spin on it.
yeah. Some of the other cars are so good out of the box. Like, what am I realistically?
Personally,
gonna
that's
do?
that's the part of why I wouldn't want to own the E92 M3 because like, we can put an intake on that. Really? Like,
Yeah.
you
Tune
know,
in.
you can put like a $4,000 exhaust that adds like 6 horsepower. So that is a cool car, but if you're gonna modify it, it's less cool. I drove that car to go pick up some sandwiches,
Some sand.
some sandies, and I don't know if it's like, is it a Mustang thing that thing just like doesn't put power down? It's like it's not.
It's the theater.
Yeah, let me tell you about theater. That thing is getting like squirrely in the third gear. I was like, are his tires bald?
No.
I get there, they're like brand new Nittos. I was like, what is up with this car? That it's like, it would do that thing, which is pretty fun, but where like a car you'll like punch it and then it'll lose traction at a certain RPM.
That's part of what makes that, you get that high RPM.
Yeah, it's like it's putting it down, and then it's like, oh, it's
too much.
losing it.
Yeah.
It's like you thought you had it,
Yeah.
but now
That's
it's like,
that's not how V8s used to be, right?
no. And I mean,
Once
that's why I don't
once
understand.
the small block gets past 4,500 RPM,
Yeah, you gotta feather the throttle. That's why I don't understand about the M5. It's like same displacement,
yeah.
close enough red line,
almost same horsepower.
but it's like the M5 doesn't get fucking squirrely. That's why, is it just bad at putting power down, or is that motor underrated in some way? Yeah, I was like, what is going on?
you can see why so many people lose
Yeah,
it.
seriously.
Cars and coffee.
Yeah, I swear that thing was still losing traction. It was like scrambling for traction at like
third,
75.
yeah.
Like,
Whoa.
like deep into third gear. I was like, the fuck? Traction control on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So confused. Yeah. Anyways, good sandwiches. If you need to pick up sandwiches fast,
Yeah.
go for it.
That's the vehicle.
Yeah, maybe if they had an all-wheel drive version of that Mustang, that's what that thing needs, apparently. Okay, here is this is where we get serious.
It's where we dig deep.
Yeah, so SoundCloud, which if you don't know is like a place to upload sound files.
It's where we host our podcast.
And it's where this podcast is hosted. It is a place for like budding musicians, kind of. Like,
Yeah.
that's sort of like, some people have like got their start on YouTube and
Yeah.
like then gone on to do bigger things. SoundCloud's kind of like that too, where a lot of like rappers and stuff will start on SoundCloud and like build an audience and then get
And
picked
get
up
shot.
or whatever and get shot. And so SoundCloud has recently, it used to be, I don't know what their limit was, but you could just upload a ton of shit.
Yeah.
And they have recently put a cap on the free uploads to where you can upload, I think it's 15 tracks or 3 hours
Yeah.
of music, I want to say.
Well, there used to be a cap for
In total?
total.
Yeah.
If you're a free user,
You're right.
you get 15 tracks.
I want to
3
say
hours.
the cap used to be it was 10 hours worth of audio files.
No matter what, that was just the max.
And I remember because I was like, oh, well, that's like our podcast is an hour long. That's only like 10 episodes. So we pay, we pay for the premium, so which is like unlimited.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so we pay. But apparently it was like you could do 10 hours,
I think- yeah.
unlimited tracks,
Yeah.
10 hours. And so this has caused quite a stir
Mm-hmm.
that they've rudely imposed this cap on
Yeah.
their
Free servers, yeah.
accounts, people to just upload their free content. And so I was quite amused by that because people were like, this is the end of SoundCloud. Like some people were like,
No.
this is bullshit. Like, turning their backs on
Yeah.
small time creators or whatever. Like,
Can't afford anything.
can't. And mind you, I think they changed it to like, is going to work out to like 40 a year or something. It's pretty low, whatever it is. Maybe it's more than that. I'm not sure, but it was not outrageous. And so it was this whole thing. Obviously, I was like, yeah, it's a free, like, how are you possibly complaining
Right.
about this? And I don't think anyone's taking that seriously. Good for them. But it made me think YouTube, I believe, just loses money. I think that's a loss for Google. They just control so much content that it's a benefit to them.
Right.
But I don't think YouTube is a profitable wing of whatever Alphabet, whatever the actual owner is. And it made me wish I wish that they would do the same. I wish YouTube had some kind of cap.
Gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like first of all, I'm not even talking about channels that I don't have respect for or something. I'm talking about there is just hours
Of garbage.
of shit
Yeah.
on YouTube.
It's like when you back in the old days when you used to like get a camcorder, you'd be like,
Yeah.
"What can I film?"
Yeah, and you're just
Yeah.
like,
You make
"Eh."
something.
I mean, there is like petabytes or whatever of videos with like 0 views.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Or single digit at least. Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
just trash, essentially, like garbage. And it's on, and they're hosting it for free.
For free.
And so
It's
part
like
of
10
my
billion like Fortnite.
Oh, yeah.
videos.
tons
clips,
of
yeah.
streaming and what. I'm not even talking about people who legitimately set out
Yeah.
to start a
Dude,
channel,
Right, yeah.
They just
and
do
like
'cause-
it just didn't work out and whatever. But they were truly trying to start something. This is just people have
Just uploading
uploaded
anything.
just trash,
Like
It's
an
not
unedited clip from their
it's
phone.
just like
Yeah.
a 5 hour. I mean, it's just like so much data, and so it made me kind of wish that they would do some sort of gatekeeping
Yeah.
on that, because up the stream a little bit, it's like YouTube has gotten to the point where it is so saturated with just everything, good and bad. There is some truly quality content on YouTube. There's some truly, I mean, it's the full spectrum from literally pointless, unwatchable waste of data to car bros
Yep.
to very good stuff where it's like, geez, I can't believe this is free.
Right.
Why is this free? It's so good, kind of stuff. So it's like everything is on there. And so it's just making me wish that if they would, I think the reason they don't is someone else would just pop up and try to take their
Right.
place. But it's like, there's too much. It's to the point where I feel like as a species, we are being reckless with our use of data. So all that shit has to be stored somewhere.
Yeah.
It exists in some air-conditioned
Yep. Building.
data center in the
Yeah.
Arctic
Yeah.
or something, And so, I mean, there are just in the car genre, it's like the stuff we make fun of, where it's like a person holding a camera and
Yeah.
going to a car show and talking about it. That's like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's some like 0.
there is stuff. There are literally
you see a lot of
channels.
we happen to see a lot of these clips when people leave comments on Final Race.
Yeah, well,
There'll be like a comment that just says like fake,
yeah.
and then you can go to the profile. Of
Yeah, a
the
lot of times
person,
we'll dig in.
Yeah. See.
and it's
go
like
behind the scenes.
And there's
Yeah.
like 6 like Roblox videos with 0 views.
Yeah, especially when it's like obviously like an 8 or 9 year old talking shit about us. It's like, let me see this kid's life.
Yeah, see what you
and he'll
got.
have uploads. And it's like, of course.
Yeah.
2
course he does.
views.
But yeah, he'll just have a ton of stuff. There are car videos where it's like a slideshow of images, and they'll steal an article from like Road and Track and run it through a text-to-speech thing. And so the video is a slideshow of images and just like the 2019 Hyundai Elantra featuring a 2.0 liter motor with 100. It's just red. It's just this article red.
It's like 20 minutes long.
And it's like that's their channel. It's just like there's too much. There's too much shit on YouTube. There's too much trash. And it's got to the point where when we started this, which was not that long, I mean, it's 5 years. Happy anniversary, guys. By the way.
Yeah.
5 years of Car Bros. But it used to be like, I have a YouTube channel.
Right,
And
yeah.
that
It was a big
kind
thing.
of,
Yeah.
I don't know about big, but it was like,
it took effort.
something.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I don't even want to tell people. I don't even mention it.
Well, we're on YouTube.
I was always like embarrassed on some level to even mention it. But now it's like that is almost the same as saying, yeah, I've got some posts on Instagram.
Yeah.
I have an Instagram account.
I have an Instagram account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just
I create content on it.
it's essentially meaningless. And so I think it's just a sign that there is just way too much shit. And I wish they would put some barriers up. I wish they would start cleaning that stuff out, because I don't know that the consumer is winning because of this.
No.
Yeah.
It's not like, well, but people
They
get
crave
to-
it.
It's like it's just making it harder for people to get connected with
Good stuff.
with better stuff.
Yeah.
Even. Yeah. Anyways, that is why, to tie it all together, we are going to try to move further and further upstream, basically, to only focus on making more kind of impressive, not necessarily on the level that Once Upon a Time in Monterey was, where it's like this whole event, but certainly on that level of effort.
Yeah.
Maybe not that level of public embarrassment, but it's just too hard because we kind of have to. I
Yeah.
guess what I'm saying is it's too hard to get attention.
Yeah.
And it's like, we don't really care about how big the audience is, but when there's not even a chance to draw an audience because your voice is so small compared to the tidal wave of competing shit, it's like, we have to change something. And a lot of people are like, why don't you go back to making the old videos? It's like, those just they won't work anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, people won't pay
5
attention
years
to them
is an
anymore.
eternity. in this
Yeah,
business.
it's like that stuff does not stand out anymore, and we would do it, but we need to continue to try to grow the brand and appeal to more people while satisfying ourselves and the people that we've already attracted. But it's like, no one talks about our content anymore, either because we've offended them,
maybe
which is
more than
possible, or because they
don't
just
see it, yeah.
don't do that anymore, or they don't see it, or whatever. They just have like a no outside our brand policy or whatever. And so, from my perspective, the best route is to differentiate ourselves as far as possible, in hopes that we attract attention from somebody. I mean, Once Upon a Time in Monterey did a lot of good for us.
Yes.
And so it's like, I feel like if we keep doing that kind of stuff and focusing our effort on the higher end stuff, because we're capable of it, that feels like the smart move for us. So that is the Car Bros 2020
Goal.
Roadmap.
slash roadmap slash whatever thought process. Okay. That is all we have for the automotive. I just have some quips.
Yeah.
Well, so a couple people asked for our thoughts about the Mustang Mach-E.
There is
Did
a
we-
new
did we-
Mustang
did we
in
not-
town.
did we not talk about
No,
that?
we
No,
didn't.
we haven't,
Because
no.
it should have been on the
Previous one.
Cybertruck. You may not know this, but there's a new Mustang in town.
There's a new pony.
There's a new Mustang.
There's a new
in the
pony in
lineup.
the stable.
Yeah. I don't know. Thoughts?
I think it's cool. I personally don't really give a shit about the naming part of it.
Yeah.
As a Mustang owner, I
Yeah.
can
Yeah. How do
tell
you? You're the only one here who is actually qualified.
as an aficionado.
Yeah.
As the leader of the Mustang
I don't know, I just-
pack.
I think it's an interesting product. I think in a way it's probably smart to use that name because nobody would be fucking talking about it if it was just called like the Ford like E-Flex or whatever. I feel like that they probably knew that would give them a lot more attention than
The controversy or
just
using the
like
name or-
the recognition, good or bad, that would come with it.
I guess I do.
I mean, like what's
what you're
what's the
saying
worst
there.
that's gonna happen? Like, I'm not gonna buy a Mustang now because
Sure.
Right.
To me, it's just you had at one point, like you were talking about how offensive it is they use the name Supra on the Supra. And it's like, this is that times a billion.
Yeah, well, that's just like, I think the Supra. It's because they didn't really put that much work into it. It was like, I feel like the Mustang name is just like an add-on. Like, let's just call it Mustang.
Yeah.
That name works the best. Or like that name will like get us the most whatever mind share. Or
Isn't that what the Supra is?
Yeah.
No, the Supra just like, we need to build a new Supra.
I don't know.
How can we do that?
I think the car is fine, and that's the path that Ford is on, is to try to do electric stuff. And so
Right.
it's like good for them. The whole Mustang thing I thought was pretty dumb because zero people I have seen have called it anything but the Mach-E.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's a good name.
Yeah.
No one's like, which
The
Mustang,
Mustang?
are you
Which- yeah.
Do you like
Yeah.
the Mustang Mach-E?
Yeah. Now
Are
you
you
gotta,
talking about the GT500 or the Mach-E?
Mach-E, yeah.
Like, please specify which Mustang you're referring to. No one fucking thinks of that thing as a
As an
Mustang.
actual Mustang, yeah.
And so I feel like they shouldn't have done that because now they've done it.
Well,
And
then
it's
again,
like, they gotta keep
even
going.
just the name Mach-E like already has some Mustang
That would be
like
fine.
connection to it.
They
Yeah.
could have put the horse on it and called
Called
it
it
Mach-E
Mach-E.
and been fine. But to put Mustang, it's like, dude. And then they'll take pictures with like
Yeah.
GT350, GT500, like Mach-E.
Although
It's
to be
like,
fair,
they're
I don't think it actually
related.
says Mustang anymore.
No, it doesn't. And that's why I think it's a mistake they did it, because it's like, now you have to keep doing it. You shouldn't have done it. Like, to me, honestly, I feel like that was probably they were still debating it like 2 hours before.
Is it Mustang?
It's like,
Is it a
I
Mustang,
don't know,
Mach-E?
dude. Do we really need this? Because to me, people weren't like, I don't know if it's a Mustang or not, but like, welcome to the corral. It's just like, no one is gonna ever call it a Mustang Mach-E. It's the Mach-E. I mean, it's like, that's why I feel like it's kind of a goof. I think they did it to draw attention to it, which, to your point, is
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
how can we get more attention on this thing? But unless, the thing about electric cars is like, you have to be so creative with them. Like, that's why that's, hate it or not, that's why the Cybertruck's kind of cool, because it's like, no one saw that shit coming, and that's not like anything else on the road. Whereas the Mach-E, it's like, Ford makes an electric car too.
Yeah.
Here we
You know,
are.
it's not like, what's it gonna be like? I can't wait to see those things on the road. No one cares. It's cool. I don't disagree with them doing it. But it's like, fuck, I can't wait to start seeing Cybertrucks on the road. And like, how fucking dumb, that weird and just whatever. It's like, that's how you do an electric car, because it's way different and whatever. And the Mach-E is like, people talked about it for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Moved on.
Because, I mean, it's not to say it's bad. It's just, it's an electric car.
Right.
I get it. It's an
Yeah.
electric car.
It's a slightly bigger Mustang.
Yeah, it's
With an
it's an
electric
SUV
motor.
with an
Yeah.
electric motor, and
Yeah.
it's like, you kind of need a party trick.
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm saying, because a lot of electric cars have kind of come and gone, like the e-tron and stuff, where it's like,
Right.
this is our
Here we are.
whatever. Like, at least the Taycan is like ultra performance.
Yeah. Right.
Like, at least they did something, because it's like, if it doesn't have if there's not a door prize for the customer, you're kind of gonna get not talked about too much. So.
Unless it's like dirt fucking cheap.
Yeah, unless it's like super cheap or something. I don't know. Anyways, that's how we feel about that. Cool. It's
Lukewarm.
fine.
It's fine.
I
yeah.
like the way it looks.
I would say
Yeah.
fine.
I
yeah.
I think they did a good job with it. It's just, you can't get too excited about an electric car.
Unless it's a Tesla.
Unless it's a Tesla.
Yeah.
Unless Elon Musk personally.
Yeah. Signed off.
He who leads us. Elon.
We also made an ATV.
So, go ahead, Hans. Break it.
Ooh.
Oh, well, it didn't go through. I didn't rehearse.
Well, this is live.
Well, okay. Okay, so 2 more things. First, York peppermint patties. Fucking terrible.
Yes.
Good Lord.
No.
Well,
Oh, really?
I'm not-
no,
I'm not
I've never bought one ever. But like when you get like something like that after like a meal, it's good.
Sure, fine. The only place they're acceptable is like folded into your check.
Yeah. That's all I have to
It's
say.
like, do you want candy that also tastes like toothpaste? Do you want the experience of brushing your teeth?
Yeah.
But it just has chocolate, so your teeth are
A little nightcap of mint.
Yeah, like no one has ever eaten more than one York peppermint patty in like a week space before or after you've eaten a York peppermint patty. So I was making fun when we did that Halloween candy rant. We were making fun of mounds.
Wait, did I do my Valentine's Day rant?
No, you want to add that?
Okay, let me
Hold
We'll
on.
get to that. Should I go for that now?
You could save that for next month. I mean, that'll
No,
be
it's,
right
it's more
before-
it's more relevant now.
Okay.
It'll be closer to Valentine's Day.
That's true.
Well, that's the whole point. That it's not close to.
Anyways, York peppermint patties, piece of shit. Let's wrap this up. Go ahead.
Okay, so
And finally,
I don't know if this is. I think this is more of a recent thing. But Corn and I went to the store I think we literally went to the store on December 26th, right?
yeah, it
Like
might have been the day after.
The day after Christmas, and it's like
Yeah.
the day fucking after Christmas. The store is like, all right, get all this Christmas shit out. Like Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yeah.
And they have all their like pink heart candy and those and the little like Valentine's cards for kids.
Yeah, they have like the sections set up.
And like, not only is that like fucking lame, like
Yeah.
like I couldn't wait to go do my fucking Valentine's Day shopping.
Like, who's buying
it's
it?
the new year like hasn't even rolled over.
Gotta get a
yet.
jump
Get
start.
it going.
I need to go get these like pink wrapped candies.
What's the status on
Not
that
only
Valentine's?
yeah, but
display?
the biggest thing is like that's always like the most depressing thing when you go to the store like a day or two after Christmas and you see that like, well, the holidays are over, like, but at least you got Valentine's Day to look forward to in like
Yeah.
a month and a half.
Well, for me, it's just like it's so clear how on a level made up the holidays are when it's just like Christmas is over.
Yeah. Time to push all this shit.
Push the Valentine like immediately. It's like, isn't there some residual Christmas spirit? Like
it's
nope.
It's literally still like 2019. It's
gotta
like Valentine's Day is coming up.
We got to sell that giant Snoopy chocolate.
Those-
like, who's buying it
Yeah.
so soon and like hiding it?
It's gonna be stale by the time Valentine's Day comes out.
Like not only that, and then like on February 15th, they're gonna have like almost as much stuff, like
Easter.
half off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
St. Patrick's Day is
there's
coming.
It's not like there's any sort of fucking shortage of it. Like, oh, we didn't make enough
Oh, thank God I bought it early.
pink Hershey's wrappers this year.
I think it's just a red flag. Actually, they're doing a service because if you were dating someone who on December 26th was like hiding a giant Valentine's Day, you'd be like, "Oh man,
It's a
I gotta get on that. I gotta
It's
get
a
away from
creep.
this guy's creepy as shit." You're not supposed to see that yet, babe.
I was afraid they'd sell out if I waited any longer.
I want to make sure, show you how much I love you.
I just like to do my Valentine's Day shopping before the new year.
I didn't want to. I want to make sure they didn't run out of the Snoopy heart Hershey's 800 piece assortment. Shit. Okay.
All right, it's good to get that off my chest.
Feeling better?
Feeling yeah.
All right. Thank you guys
Sticking around through
being
that.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you can see, setting the tone for 2020.
Things are going to be different.
Things gonna be a little different around here. When I said big things, I meant it. Thank you for being here, especially those of you who are live. That is super cool. Please sign up for our Patreon because we're poor, and be on the lookout for Jay Leno thing.
Yeah, we will keep you
We'll
guys
let you
notified
know.
one way or another.
Fieri is probably going to go for sale. Bid
Start saving
aggressively,
up.
bid recklessly, aggressively. Divert your Valentine's.
Start saving money now.
Save
Yeah.
funds. And something else. Jack
Jack
Diamond Kickstarter. We'll do a video for that, so you'll see it before the next podcast. But that's coming. Lena said no Popeyes. No, other than no, I
We did
don't
go to
wanna-
Popeyes
Yeah.
yesterday.
I don't want to go down that route. I don't want to go down that route. It's more of the same.
Yeah. You've heard it all before.
Those wounds are too fresh. It's just
Oh, I will say that while we were waiting, there was like a police officer that came up and
Came
was like,
in.
"Can I talk to the manager?"
Yeah.
par for the course.
And we're not sure what he wanted, but it was entertaining at least.
Yeah,
No one was shocked to see a police officer. So
it's more of the same. Okay, well, anyways, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you're enjoying this. And we will see you on the first Sunday of February at 5 p.m. Pacific time, which is February 2nd. So February 2nd, Sunday, February 2nd.
Actually, that's Super Bowl Sunday, so we should.
5 p.m. Shit.
I feel like that might. Well, we
could delay it a week or
move it up a week.
Oh.
Or delay it. I don't know.
do it on Saturday.
I think that's literally like right.
Yeah, you're right.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
right during
yeah.
the Super Bowl.
It's also my I'm gonna have my birthday, February 9th.
That's fine.
Sunday.
I think. Well, fuck.
It's pretty close to Valentine's Day.
That's my birthday.
We'll probably cut this part out of the non-live.
Yeah.
version.
Sunday, February 9th, I think.
Yeah.
Sunday, February 9th, 5 p.m.
Sure.
Pacific time. Come join us live. Hang out. It's a good old time. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate you guys, all of our fans.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy New Year. And see you next time.
See you.
Bye.